Caspian, we should take a break.
Fine, but a quick one.
I'll refill our water at the river.
Caspian?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is a good idea? You know you don't have to do this.
I'm prepared for anything.
Whatever this creature is that we're tracking,
I think it's very important to make sure that children's voices are heard. We live in a very cool society. Yes, there's a lot of crazy things that are happening, but there is so many opportunities for storytelling in our today's society. As story weavers, when we go out to schools, we always ask them, how do you tell stories in your everyday lives? And a lot of people will say writing, a lot of people will say drawing or different things, but like if something happened to you that day and you recount that story to your friend or your family member or someone, that's telling a story. Your everyday life is a story. And it's so important to allow students and to also allow people in general to let their voices be heard, to let their story be heard.
Jacob grabs Martha by the wrist. Lauren, what are you doing? Lauren breaks away and begins pacing around the room.
I'm tired of this, Jacob. I'm tired of doing this stupid 50s sitcom day in and day out. I'm tired.
The scene from a script contest is through StoryCon, and we have just teamed up with them this year to work on this wonderful competition. It's been really cool to do something like this and team up with our Story Weaver group in being able to have kids from all over the state write cool scenes. And the idea is that they should be from an idea of a story that they've created, but we're just kind of looking in on a 6-page zeroed in part of their show to see how their script writing and scene work is going. Kids submitted scripts to StoryCon and then gave them to us. And we had a team of people at the Hale Center Theater that read through each of these scripts, and these scenes were kind of judged on the content as far as what is the scene or the story trying to tell to the audience. The organicness of the dialogue, that it feels natural, that the characters are well developed, that we get a good understanding of them through the writing. Also judged on intrigue, what the students have done to make the audience feel invested in the story, whether that be by the relatability of the characters or the interesting point of view that they've taken on the story that they've chosen to write. But all of these scenes were beautifully written and all had different styles, from thriller to adventure to sitcom to some things that are a little bit more holistic and kind of focusing on relationships and honesty. And so all of those things kind of took into the fact of who were chosen for our 3 finalists.
Honey, I'm home.
Welcome to The Harrisons, performed in front of a live studio audience.
come in.
Honey, I'm home.
Oh, Charles. Mwah. What took you so long?
Oh, you know that old Mr. Osborne. Always holding me back. I swear he'd glue the door and the window shut if he meant I could stay an hour later.
Hi, my name is Aspen Dale. I go to Launch High and Cedar High, and I am the first place winner of a scene from a script writing contest. My script, this scene is called The Harrisons. My story, it starts as a classic 1950s sitcom. We are introduced to the 2 characters, Martha and Charles. However, about halfway through, Martha just suddenly snaps. She reveals her name isn't Martha, and that's actually Lauren, and that Charles' name is Jacob. Lauren begins to rant to Jacob about how she's tired of this life and she wants to go back to the real run. Jacob tries to pull her back into the character, but it's no use. Eventually, Lauren is just fed up and she leaves to go find their children. However, before she can even reach the door handle, she is shot. Jacob begins angrily yelling at the audience, and he too is shot. The announcer says that the show will be back shortly as Lauren and Jacob's bodies are dragged off stage.
The Harrisons will be back after a short ad break. See you in a bit, folks.
Sometimes when I go to visit my grandma, she'll have an old 1950s sitcom in the background, and I'll just watch it. And it's super interesting. And I don't know, I'll watch it, and in my mind, it feels like there's just something off about this. So I kind of wanted to play on that in my scene, where it starts off as this 1950s sitcom before subverting expectations and turning into something dramatic. So that's where my inspiration comes from. I'm gonna be honest, I was really surprised. After watching the other two scripts, I was like, these are so good. The dialogue is so natural. The characters are really amazing. There's so much intrigue. So when they were announcing, they were like, okay. I was like, waiting, I was like, all right, 3rd place. And they were like, 3rd place, someone else. I was like, okay, 2nd place. Like, 2nd place, someone else. And I sat there, I'm like, I just won. And I turned to my friend. Actually, my friend turned to me and she was like, you just won. And I was like, I know. It was so exciting and emotional and incredible for me, because I never think I'd win this thing. Currently, I don't have any main writing projects I'm working on right now. Of course, I have all these drafts scattered around, but that's just how it goes. However, in terms of theater, I have just been cast as Adelaide in Guys and Dolls. So that's going to be going on for the next few months before performing in July. First rehearsal was actually yesterday, so that's what I'm working on right now.
Ah, Emily, there you are. You're a bit late. You know, doesn't do to keep the CEO waiting.
Sorry, Mr. Richmond, sir. It won't happen again.
Now, be a dear and take these papers to the receptionist, won't you?
But I haven't.
I'm sure whatever it is can wait a few minutes.
Okay. And he'll just yell at me when I'm not there on time for the board meeting he arranged. I know I've only been on the board for a few weeks, but you'd think it'd be enough time for him to get it. Maybe if I get him a coffee on the way back, he'll actually remember me.
Ellery, darling, I can't believe you're still wearing that old scarf. Oh, haven't I told you that it washes you out? Oh.
I hope that kids get excited about this and word gets out. I hope that kids want to participate and, again, get their voices on paper, help create stories and scenes, learn more about what makes for a good scene, how to create honest dialogue between characters to help develop relationships. But I think the greatest thing is just being a part of a community of storytellers. It's a wonderful family to be a part of, and again, we are in dire need of these youth, these kids, to do this. So I hope that they'll join in. There is nothing cooler than having something you've written be taken and brought to life. It's literally like creating life. And a book is cool because you get to write something and people get to imagine it in their own heads. But with theater, it's tangible. You get to see it happening in front of you, and you get to see people falling in love with something that you created. It's literally like having a child and sending them off to school and watching them make friends and seeing them become somebody. That's what it's like creating a scene, creating theater, and watching people take something you thought of in your head and giving it life. It's really cool.
I guess if anyone is watching out there and is like kind of nervous about submitting to a contest in fear that they're not going to win, I'm just going to say, do it. You may win, you might win, but in doing so, you're just going to build that experience and those connections, because people are going to read your script and be like, or story or whatever, and be like, so this might not be first place or second or third place material, but now we know this person, and now we can look out for them in the future. And it's just getting that experience of either success or failure that's really going to build to you being a better person and a better writer and a better creative in the future.